Hey critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Hey critics, you know what time it is. It's time to take a critical review of Jenna and Sheinelle's February 18th episode. But first, y'all, let's get into the fits. Break it down now. Okay, let me break it down real quick. Jenna, she basically wore a navy pinstripe suit with a sleeveless top to match. And the top, it was a little revealing. It was giving blessed and still perky. You know what I'm saying? Jenna, she is still rocking that blonde bob, which looks really good on her middle parts. All right. Sheinelle, she basically switched it up and gave us like a silk flowy gold pant. It did have print on it. And like I think it was a navy cardigan, or maybe it was a black cardigan. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little colorblind. I couldn't exactly tell. I really thought it was navy though. And I will say Sheinelle in these cardigans though. Y'all, Sheinelle in these cardigans, okay? Her hair, of course, is still long. It's also still crinkly. Yeah, still looks like Sheinelle. Is navy the color of the season or something? I feel like I've mentioned navy a lot. Listen to me, child. I reviewed this show for all of 2 weeks, and I say navy is a color that I see a lot. Let me get it together, okay? The ladies also both have some visible ribbons. I'm wondering if it's also maybe in honor of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of co-anchor, the Today co-anchor, Savannah Guthrie, whose mother, Nancy Guthrie, unfortunately, is still missing. They started off actually talking about Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, who are both on the cover of Interview magazine. And while this magazine, y'all, is not available on Libby or Hoopla, I will share some library resources at the end of the show, okay? Specifically about Zendaya, and a few other folks that I'm going to talk about today as well. So moving on, they star in a film together. It's called The Drama. And according to Jenna, they each had an opportunity to sort of share each other's assumptions of each other prior to filming. And Zendaya actually thought that Robert was chill, he was cool. And she said they said he actually ended up being funny and goofy. And then he thought that Zendaya would be kind and a good example. And she did confirm that he was right about his first impression. Yeah. All right. And Jenna and Sheinelle, they basically began talking about like their impressions of each other. And I like the fact that I feel like they're continuing to bond. Yeah. If you have not heard, Miley Cyrus is planning to do a Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special. A lot of celebrations of like 10s and like 20 years right now. You know what I'm saying? Survivor just celebrated a certain amount of seasons over, what is it, like a 20-year period of time? Yeah, the Duff girl, Hillary Duff, yes, forgive me. She finna go back on tour as well, That was a big announcement the other day. Oh, J. Cole's new album. Y'all, that ain't got nothing to do with the 10 or the 20, but moving on. The ladies also talked travel trends. A new travel trend is something called a sleepcation. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that before, but it's basically a trip you take just to rest. Now, I will admit to you that anytime I go on vacation, I always need like an extra day, after my vacation, after I come back, especially if I flew, I get real bad. Unfortunately, I be getting real bad motion sickness, but I have a strategy now. Fly early in the morning. I fly early if I can, as much as possible. Okay. Sheinelle basically says that she basically checks into a hotel for a night and then she wakes up in the morning and then she basically just kind of go home. She does say that she makes sure that it has like a swimming pool, the gym, some of the amenities that she really likes. Yeah, I love that for you. The ladies talked Solocations, which is what Tracy Ellis Ross promoted during her recent show called Solo Traveling. Now, the ladies talked about solo traveling, and I guess neither one of them have really done like, solo traveling, I guess. But I have to admit to you, I have solo traveled a lot. And if it's a road trip, I've done so many road trips, I can't even keep count. Like for years, I've done like road trips. Like hours road trips, so especially like living out of state. Yeah, and sometimes living in an area where the flight is so expensive, that you might as well either drive or, to be honest with you, the motion sickness is really what gets to me. I think the most, but I am working on it. But I do have again, my method is really just to fly early as I possibly can, so that I can, you know, typically sleep on the plane. Come on now. Snoop and Martha were actually guests. They were in the hot seat today. They were both in Milan for the Winter Olympic Games. Dun 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 dun. Snoop and Martha are currently working. I think they both are NBC correspondents for the Olympic Games, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it's just Snoop. Snoop. I love that song. They say Snoop serves as the first ever honorary coach for Team USA. Okay. Come on, honorary coach. They were in Milan and they went to the opera together. They basically took a tour though. It wasn't like they went to the opera. It was like to the opera to take a tour. I guess they plan to actually go to the opera together in the future. There was some footage of basically Snoop learning how to snowboard. They was giving him some good tips and all the things, and then him and Martha talking about how they was gonna ice skate, and that was gonna be the thing that they was gonna do together. Yeah, they've had a good relationship for a long time. They had the show together. I think Martha ended up opening up her own like CBD gummy line, I believe. So that's an expansion of what she's not done before, right? She's in a different industry than that, but I think with her and Snoop and them doing like the collaborations and working together, I think it just kind of, I like the bond. If you don't know, Snoop actually had a fiasco with his credit card that the ladies asked about. But of course, Snoop responded like a champ. He basically ordered food, but his card was declined. However, the restaurant told him to take the food for free. And after the money mishap, Snoop basically repaid the family, run eatery with far more than the cost of grub. He sent them 5 coveted tickets to the men's snowboard half pipe final, says the New York Post. So yeah, good for Snoop. And while the Post says that Snoop did not say why it was declined, I think what he had to say was, I forgot exactly what he said. I'm sorry, y'all. What did he say? What did Snoop end up saying? Yeah, he did say that he gave them the tickets and all the things, and I think he may have said something like it was a reason for the declining of the card because I was meant to go back to, give them, the tickets. It was a little more clever than what I just said, but I just can't remember exactly what he said. Oh, anyway, moving along. Snoop also ended the interview complimenting the duo Jenna and Sheinelle, letting them know that they actually looked good. I think the ladies ate that up, baby. They ate that up, as they should have. Okay. Yeah. Also sending love to Snoop's family and daughter Corey Brodus and her fiance who lost their daughter Cody last month. The Winter Olympics is streaming on NBC and Peacock. Bunnie XO is a podcaster and an author with a new story to add to libraries and bookshelves, where she lays out her upbringing in a book called Stripped Down. She had a tough life. It sounds like her mama was a stripper and an addict, and her dad was a musician, but also an addict. And unfortunately, it sounds like her mama left her daddy for the bass player. Maybe I got the instrument wrong. My bad if it's a saxophonist. But she also ended up leaving her as well. And basically her dad ended up getting sick, went into the hospital. But after he recovered, he basically got out and he ended up continuing to take care of her. And that's kind of like her life story. She did not meet back up with her mom until she was 36 years old. And Libby's summary actually states, and when I'm saying the summary, I mean like this book is not available right now. It's only available for hold on this platform, at least at my library. For me, it's not available for me to actually read right now, but it is available for me to put on hold. And they have 2 different versions. They have the ebook that you can read on your smart device, and then they also have the audiobook. What I didn't, I wonder if she's going to be the one who reads the audiobook. Y'all, I like it when the author reads. Well, there was this one time. Okay, so Gucci Mane had this book. and he ended up having somebody else actually read the book for him. And I will admit, I was judgmental before because initially I said I always like for the author to read it, but whoever he had reading that book or serving as the voiceover, I loved it. When I say I loved it, I loved it. With that being said, her book Stripped Down is available for hold on Libby, a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. Yeah. And if you want to know what the Libby summary states, it says Alyssa DeFord, known to millions of fans as Bunnie XO, started at the bottom and spent the first part of her life falling even deeper. She is the owner of Dumb Blonde Productions, building an empire with heart and personality at the forefront. Yeah, y'all check it out. Additionally, Julie Wilson, she was there for the segment called Top Beauty Drops. The top beauty drops. Okay, I almost said booty drops. Yeah, that would have been a recipe for disaster. But basically, Julie dropped into the show with a lot of ideas. She talked about a lot of beauty drops, including hair treatments and scalp health. Those massagers that actually massage your scalp. They say that really does help with the circulation there, because we forget about the fact that that's a part of our skin as well, right? When it comes to our actual scalp, that it's major these days. We got to get that scalp massaged. Okay. They also talked curling irons and hot combs, believe it or not, right? There was like an all-in-one. It's like a hot comb, a curling iron, a brush. I was like, okay, all right, y'all just getting real inventive and stuff. The only thing, side note about the all-in-ones, is sometimes because it is an all-in-one, I feel like it may not last as long as if it was just one, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, bath treats for the spa treatment in the shower, including like a loofah and like a back massager that will allow you to exfoliate along with a shower head with a filter, so that you can basically have even cleaner water when you're taking a shower. Come on now. Splish splash, I was taking a bath, all about a Saturday night. Dun, 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 dun. That's enough. Chrissy is what the young lady's name was. She was featured on Buzzy Bites. I don't know why I like the name of this, Buzzy Bites, which was the food portion of the show today. Now, Sheinelle could not wait. Okay. I feel like Sheinelle always be that person, though, that literally when it's time for the food, not the food that they bring when they first start the show. I'm talking about when they get into the end of the show, and they bring the food out and there's like a whole kitchenette like set up. Not when y'all set them up with them soup drops. Not then, okay? Not then, y'all, because the producers set y'all up, all right? I ain't saying they doing some Tyler Bank stuff behind the scenes, but them, baby, them soup drops, they didn't even sound good. I don't even know why y'all put that in your mouth. I don't know why y'all even tried it, but I guess that's what you got to do for the advertisers, to each its own. To each its own. But yeah, Sheinelle always be the first, I feel like, to kind of go to the final product of whatever the food is and like start tasting it before they finish cooking it. But that also could be a part of it too, where one of them is like, that you got to taste the food, because what's the point of having somebody on there cooking if you don't taste it, especially if they're cooking it live. Yes, it's all the way live. Okay. Sheinelle, though, again, she couldn't wait. The first dish, though, was one of those viral dishes, I guess, that they have on the internet right now. Specifically, I think it's TikTok. It was a muffin. It had the bananas, the peanut butter, the blueberries, and the egg. And the guy that they had on there as an example who went viral for it, oh, he looked like it tasted amazing. But Sheinelle hated it, y'all. She couldn't even keep her composure. She was looking like, now that don't taste like what he made it look like it tasted. But good thing she liked the second dish. They had a dumpling lasagna, and Sheinelle loved it. And then, of course, they made a pickle dip. I'm not a fan of like a pickle dip. I don't mind pickles, though. But the way that Jenna was excited over it, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably actually try it. She said she hated that the Super Bowl has passed because she would have actually made it for the Super Bowl party. The ladies look like they had a lot of fun today. Like a lot. It looked like they just had like a lot of fun today. But I feel like overall it was a great show. And if you cannot get enough of the guests on today's show, let me provide a few resources that can be found on Hoopla, which is a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. Now, these resources are for, I'll start off with Zendaya. Hoopla is the best place to actually check out her albums, Zendaya. It can be found there. Also, the movie Zapped, along with her ebook, Between You and Me, just to name a few. And also Snoop Dogg's albums, The Best of Snoop Dogg, Missionary, The Last Meal, Kool-Aid, Pay the Cost to Be the Boss. My favorite of Snoop's the past few years is actually his cookbook, believe it or not. It's called From Crook to Cook. And Martha even gives basically like some opening words in the book discussing like their special bond, all of the things. Like it's not too long. If I am not mistaken, I think Martha actually provided some direction to Snoop, editing all the things, but it's a very crafty book. I don't think that's the only book that he's written either. I think there's maybe another one too that he has out. Yeah. But he basically happily took he happily took on the challenge when it comes to Martha, you know. I think he definitely respects her. You child, they ain't there together. You know, Martha served some time. Hello. She with them boys, all right? And not in a good way. Okay, let me stop. The layout of the book is unique for I think specifically for Snoop. They have some good sounding recipes up in there. Martha Stewart's resources include Martha Stewart's organizing. I actually have the physical book of that one, Gardening Handbook, and Make It in America, which is basically a movie. I ain't never seen the movie, y'all, like ever. But yeah, I own actually the Stewart's organizing, but they have specifically the ebook that you can get right now. And really quickly, I know Chanel will discuss it, but she has a book that's coming out in the future. It's called Through Mom's Eyes. In this book, Chanel interviews celebrities, their mothers basically, who are raising successful kids. She had an ulterior motive. She wanted to bring all wisdom to bear on raising her own three children. The book is set to release on April the 14th, and I've already placed it on hold via Libby, which is a free streaming platform made possible through our local library. As a reminder, here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public libraries. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today and to read all of Jenna's book club recommendations. Now, for access to the full YouTube episode of Today with Jenna and Sheinelle, check out the show notes in the description box. And we are hosting Blogmas in honor of Black History Month, and we'll release a video every day in the month of February 2026. We are also using this as a kickoff to 1,000 subscribers, so tell a critic of a critic to subscribe, baby. And also, be sure to subscribe to our backup channel, Hey Critics, also linked in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary, reviews, and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.